There's I know. Oh, now there's there. Oh, finally now I can breathe.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Morning, Yitzi. Shalom. Morning,
Someone just said,
Isaac.
good morning, Morty.
Yeah.
You heard that too from your voice?
Not from my voice, but usually when it's good morning. Okay.
Exodus.
There we go.
Exodus.
145. Fourth reading, Exodus 22:27 through 23:5. God continued with the laws governing respect for authority, the nations to be given to the tribe of Levi, truth in the administration of justice, and behavior toward enemies. Okay. Very nice. So it's actually interesting. Yesterday, after the discussion about lending people money and stuff, things. So someone actually I had a plan of what to do. In the end, somebody just came over to me and asked me. And I'm just like, yeah, that's it. It wasn't a lot of money. It was a little bit. $2 maybe. Hey, Avi. Good to see you. And yeah, I was able to fulfill that. So that's really nice. Yeah, that's it. Good morning. It's good to see everybody. Looking forward to what everybody has to say. And I wish to further my appreciation for collaborating together and to having that synergy and even better.
Is there another heater? That felt so good for a second, and then it just came to you. I mean, so helping the body, helping the soul. Ki sir chamor shonach ray weet tag as mas masais azay ta zay imo shmos chaf gemohe pasuk. When you see your enemy's donkey crouching under its load, you must help him. Oh, I remember this. I remember this like reading. I remember reading it a lot. So it means that like you should help someone even if like even if you have like an enemy and you see him fall or something, like you have to help him out because he is like he's hurt and you should help him out. I forgot what I said last time, but someone came up to me for money. Like, you don't ask, can I borrow money? You ask, can I borrow money for this and this?
It sounds like you want to say some more, so you could continue after I say good morning, Avi. Good morning, Yitzi. Good morning, Isaac.
Are you speaking,
actually,
John?
you can't. I don't think Isaac likes it.
Avi, you can hear him?
I was saying good morning.
Okay, go ahead. I think our speakers are probably not on.
I thought the screen froze for a second.
Hey.
Testing.
Good.
Yeah, it worked.
It is working.
Try to speak.
Avi, can you hear us?
Yes.
Can we hear you?
No.
You're gonna have to say something in order for me to, you know.
Can you hear me now?
Nothing.
Hello? Talking. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I can hear you.
Testing. Testing.
All right, switching to here.
Cool.
Okay, just know what the.
You need a timer.
Actually, have you know what my bag of timers are? I think it's in that drawer. I believe in Hashem, trust in Hashem.
Here we go. I think I figured it out.
Did?
Speak. Try. Ask him to speak. Try to speak.
Could you speak?
Speak. Speak. 1, 2, 3.
It's working by my phone, but not. Oh, hey, now it's working.
Echo.
Hey, Echo. Okay. Shalom, can you go?
Sorry for disturbing your time.
I was just saying good morning and telling Yitzi he could have my turn, but that's not the way it works. So, again, Avi, you heard my good morning. Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Yitzi. It's great to see you all today. And Avi, you can go ahead and talk now. I think.
Avi. Avi.
Oh, hey. Hey, what's up? Shalom, I didn't hear the last few words you said. Probably on my part. Okay, let's continue reading. God gave us the Torah and its commandments for the benefit of our body. I don't know if you heard this yet, but for the benefits of our bodies as well as our souls. Nonetheless, since the body, our beast of burden or donkey, naturally sees its own comfort, it is likely to consider the study of God's Torah and the fulfillment of his commandments a burden. What? No way. It may rebel, crouch, positioning itself at the soul's enemy. Therefore, since for most of us our body's voice is louder than our souls, we are likely to initially view the Torah as an oppressive burden. So, is there like a commentary on this commentary? Maybe one or two on those. Okay, peace. Bye.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for being patient. And thanks, Yitzhak, for figuring it out. This only means, however, that we have not yet integrated the Torah into our lives. Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism, taught that we should not despise the body because of its natural attitude. Rather, we should work with it, strengthening its health while educating it to realize that accepting the Torah's dictates is in its own best interest. Once we realize that God's Torah and his commandments are the truest source of life, our bodies will view them as a gift, joining our souls enthusiastically in their fulfillment. His body is 5710, pages 111 through 112. Wow. So, Avi, if you have questions on it, please state, or complaints. Maybe I won't answer you, but maybe no one will answer you. But definitely like to hear your thoughts. And this is a quite a famous one. My initial question is, what does it mean really to work with it? Meaning, you're talking about the body, the animal soul. We should work with it, strengthening its health while educating it to realize that accepting the terms it dictates is in its own best interest. What does that entail? To work with the body.
See, what now? Your phone's not working?
Go ahead. No.
Joking. So as I was saying about, I mean, most of the time we see our enemies as like, yeah, we don't want to help him out, and he did a lot of things to me, so why should I do something to him? But like, if you see him like on the floor, like maybe he really needs help, and maybe he'll forgive you, because you helped him out. But like, I mean, as I was saying, like, I mean, most of the time, if you see like someone in help and need of help, then you got to help them out. Back to the from yesterday. I mean, a kid asked me if he can borrow money. I said sure, but before he asked, he said, "Can I borrow money for I need to do a wash?" So like usually people ask, yeah, I need money for this and this. They don't say like, can I get money? Like most people say, oh yeah, I'll give you money. But I mean, I would have probably gave it to him even if he didn't have like an excuse. Like even if he didn't have to do his laundry, like I probably would have gave it to him anyways. But usually most people give an idea of what they need, and then
Shalom.
Avi, I wasn't saying anything really important before. I was just going around saying good morning to everyone. Yitzi, I don't understand why I have to be nice to people who did things that I don't like towards me. I mean, obviously, there's probably a reason somewhere, but if they did something not nice to me, why shouldn't I just act the same way back to them? And that's usually the way the world works. You do something and there's consequences. Why shouldn't I be the one to put forth those consequences? And Isaac, I like the questions you bring forth every morning. They're good. They're good. They make me think about it a little bit differently. So like you said, I think if you're saying how do you do that, how do you make the body want to learn Torah and do mitzvahs, I think that you have to look at it a bit differently than I have to look at it a bit differently than I've been thinking about it my whole life. As a kid, it's something I was born into, and then I didn't really have much of a choice. And I have to see that a lot of the things that I got from Judaism, I wouldn't have gotten from a different lifestyle. And it's about contemplation about what I'm really doing. What is it about? Like, what do I have versus what I wouldn't have? I think is the best way to look at it, personally.
Avi.
Okay, so I like this commentary. I'm looking at it now a little bit closer. And in the beginning, it says, God gave us the Torah and its commandments for the benefit of our bodies and our souls. Like, that's really interesting, I think. Basically, God just put us here on earth and is like, okay, what you have to do is enjoy yourself. Like, that's it. Just enjoy yourself. But the only problem is, how are you going to do it? But really, everything we do is basically pleasurable. If you wake up in the morning and you get up really early, that's like, yes, it's pleasurable. Also, you can sleep in, and that's like, yeah, I slept in, it felt good. So they're both pleasurable. It just depends on, which one is maybe a deeper sense of pleasure and a truer pleasure. And, the famous saying, what happens when you go for pleasure without truth? AIDS. Yeah. See, it says our voice our body's voice is louder than our souls. It's really true. Like, we don't just like get hungry and we're like, oh my gosh, I need to make a bracha right now. My stomach is like growling. I have to, it's like, no, it's not even there. It's crazy. Crazy. All right. Peace, L'chaim.
Wow. Shkech, Yitzi, Shalom, and Avi. Good stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. So why would I want to be nice to someone that's not nice to me or that wasn't nice to me? So I guess exactly for that reason. I didn't like it. So why do I want to continue that? I don't think there's really such a thing as not participating. There's either I'm perpetuating the negativity or I could perpetuate or create something good. And I guess that's the idea of loving your fellow as yourself, is that I want good and therefore I should give good. I don't have to respond always in kind, and anything would pretty much be annoying. Even in a conversation, right? If somebody says one thing and you just repeat it back to him, let's not do that. We're different. We're not exactly the same. And in fact, I can choose to be the better one. And that's probably what I want as well. And there's a bunch of other sayings and stuff of like how I'm really harming myself by walking around with a grudge. I think the first step in regards to the body is to identify where does the body stand. Like what's
I mean, it says, I was reading further, and after the body, helping the body and helping the soul. I mean, it's saying about um, it's saying about like how God gave us He gave us the Torah and commandments and benefits of our body and soul. Like we can we can seek other things that we want to do, but like since God gave us these commandments, like we have to do it because we know it's good for us, and most of the time we don't want to do it because we think that, oh, if he did something wrong, why should I do something good for him even though he did something wrong to me? Like yeah, he did something wrong, but we don't know what his lifestyle was. Like maybe he has a situation in his family or something. Like we don't know what's with the other guy. That's why he's probably like he's he's getting in fights or something. But like, I mean, if he gets injured or something, you want to try to help him because you think that it's the right thing, even though you know he was bad and he was like bothering you. Yeah.
Sean?
First of all, Avi, I think that the soul does take up a more subconscious role in the playing of like it has a subconscious voice more than like a conscious voice, but it definitely it needs to be taken care of, otherwise it becomes very conscious very quickly. Um or at least its voice becomes louder in an interesting way. Yitzi, I think since this is about like applying it to personal life, like my personal life, I think that generally I give people a lot of chances. But sometimes it comes down to a person just not taking the chances that like I present to them to change and become better. Obviously, everyone goes at their own pace, but like I can I can give them that opportunity to change, and I'll do it multiple times. And I also do know their personal situation, so I know it's not stemming like I sort of like could understand where it's stemming from. But they just won't change, and it's hard for me to continue acting a certain way to someone who's not reciprocating on whatever I'm giving to them. It's very difficult to like, you know, even though I understand that it's sometimes necessary, but there's no motivation for me to continue if the guy isn't like mirroring.
Avi?
Yeah, Rabbi Isaac made a good point at the end. I think you were touching on like being able to differentiate and identify what part of you is what. And so if you just say, "Oh, well, this is me. I can't do anything about it," then fine. And this is how I naturally am. Yeah, that's also how animals naturally are. But the whole point is to be supernatural. And I'm just gonna go ahead and look in the second paragraph. And yeah, I like it says Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism, taught that we should not despise the body because of its natural attitude. So that's interesting. I think what it means is like every once in a while, you may be human, you may get a thought that maybe you shouldn't be thinking about, but what happens when you get that thought? You're gonna choose to go with it, or it says rather we should work with it, strengthen it, and educate it. And I think that's the whole point is to own yourself. All right. Peace. Chaim.
Thank you, Avi. In my mind, these two concepts are very connected that we're discussing. And I think that first you got to know yourself. That means know your body's natural tendencies, right? And then once you identify it, you have to work with it. That means know what your limits are and then increase your limits, make it better, forever. The idea of how many times a human being can forgive someone. And then we speak about God and we say God can infinitely forgive. But us human beings, it's very difficult to do that. Each time a person messes up and bothers us and does something against us is more difficult to forgive for that. But the idea of what we live in our life is to constantly try and increase that limit, is that make it more and more. So first of all, I want to suggest to everybody, whoever hasn't yet, please read the book Toward a Meaningful Life. It is very important, especially in regards to which voice is stronger and what's the point. Anyways, it's a good one. You should read it. And to Shalom, you're making me think, how many chances do I want? I keep on messing up too. People keep on trusting me. People keep on trying to help me out or whatever it is and be there for me, and I keep on messing it up. How many chances do I want? And another question, how many chances do I want to give my children? Okay.
I mean, most of the time we don't know what the guy's situation is. So like, if we like, there's like, let's say a new kid or something like, you're like, yeah, he's new and you don't really know much about him, but like, you'll get to know him like if you're with him for, let's say, a few months or something, you'll get to know like what his name is and how, like, what his personality is, what he likes doing and stuff. But like, most people don't say, oh yeah, this is my reason why I bully people, and like, yeah, this is I have issues and stuff. And like, most people don't say that to people unless they trust people not to say to anybody, like, yeah, I trust you not to tell other people because you're my best friend and I know you since like a kid or something. Like, most of the time, most like kids that have been friends for like about, like, probably for about a whole, like, his whole life, know about his situations and stuff, like about what's going on, because they probably keep in touch and stuff. But I mean, like, most of the time we could say, yeah, we know what's his problem, but we don't.
Shalom.
I want lots of chances, but on myself, so I can excuse a lot of the things I do. But I get what you're saying. That's very true. That's very true. Something to think about. To keep in mind every time I get upset at someone. And what else? What else do I have to say on this subject matter? Did we read through the whole daily wisdom yet? Okay, so Avi, go ahead.
Okay. Even if we did, we could always read it again. Yeah, some like classes here at Age, they have like different types of classes. Some are I've been to the same one like so many times, and I still have no idea what it's talking about. So I mean, like I have a deeper level of understanding like every time. You know, people go to the class and are like, I heard that one already. It's like saying like I heard that parsha already. Like I listened to it, why do I have to listen to it again? You know, and I feel like every time you can understand these things, it's just on it goes to a deeper level. And by the way, even if things are seem like really shallow, if you really think about it, it's not shallow. Nothing's shallow. Um, so I'm reading a book called Getting to Know Yourself. By it's actually written anonymously, but the author is Rabbi Itamar Schwartz. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but I recommend it. It's a good book. Peace. Sign.
Peace in the land of Israel. Very well said, Avi. And to prove your point, I shall read, helping the body help the soul. Kisir chamar soina acho. Ruivitz tachas masoi. Ozoiv tazav imoy. Shmois chav gimel hey. When you see your enemy's donkey crouching under its load, you must help him. What's the point? What's the big novelty in this idea? Is that people that wanted to serve Hashem, they viewed the body simply as an enemy and beat him into shape, fasted him into shape, stuff like that. Baal Shem Tov came is saying something different. No, work with him. Don't work against him. Work with him. And Shalom, that's the first thing that I said during my last turn, which I think is important to know, is that you got to know your limit. You got to know what could you do, and you constantly try to increase that. Yes, you are you, and it's a lot easier to excuse yourself and to justify yourself, but it doesn't mean that you leave it at that. You develop. I know what I'm capable. I was thinking we're just discussing about a wife, right? How many chances, yeah? How many chances am I going to give my wife, right? How many chances I want her to give me? Now, there is a limit. There really is. But I probably don't want that to be such a small limit. I want it to be a very big limit.
So, I mean, it's a good thing to read it over and over. Like, since you read it, like about helping the body and soul. Like, I mean, I don't think I was like thinking about what I was thinking. I was thinking like, yeah, someone else said they should help your enemy's donkey come. Like, it's not like someone else. It's you. Like when you get angry, or like you start like going off like, yeah, I don't like doing this and stuff. Like, you should help yourself up and push yourself back up, and like you should, instead of like going and having like you're like learning and you have like you're on the floor, like you shouldn't be on the floor. You should push yourself back up and like control yourself like by like helping your enemy. Like you're your own enemy. Like your body and soul are fighting, and they're both enemies, and they want to try to reunite, so they could be together. But usually it's very hard because we keep pushing off stuff that we want to do. Like if we want to learn, most of the time, oh no, I don't, I can push it off and stuff. But like we gotta like teach yourself, like tell our enemy, yeah, I'm gonna help you up and bring you. Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah, very well said, actually. At the end of the day, whatever the reason the reason I want to hurt my enemy is because I want the personal satisfaction of getting even. But if I realize that my enemy could be my biggest strength, like I could use it as a tool to get me places so far that I couldn't have even imagined, then that'll cause me more satisfaction. And if I realize that, then, if it's getting me to the same place, but even if it's or even a further place, but even if it's in a tougher environment, because I'm doing something that seems uncomfortable, then, and I realize that, then yeah, I guess I can do some really good things. And it's cool that, like, for thousands of years, people have been experimenting, doing a lot of dangerous things so that I can have, like, my comforts now. It's very, very incredible. I'm appreciative of them, and the future generations should be appreciative of me for suffering through whatever I'm suffering through. And one more thing. I forgot. Oh yeah, at a certain point, I do want people to, like, um, to stop me from doing whatever I'm doing. You know, I'm saying I don't want unlimited chances. I want people to hold me accountable.
Avi?
We're always going to be grateful for it, even right now, Shalom. The laws of like rebuking people or tochacha, it's like crazy. Like if you see someone doing something they're not supposed to, like you only can like talk to them if it's for their benefit or something. Like you can't just go up to them and start like bashing them, and you have to make sure like no one knows. I mean, you can't embarrass them. I think it's a little bit like underrated in Judaism, but people love to be like, you know, I don't know. How, was it 6 hours? Are you sure you're waiting 6 hours? And they're very all like that. I'm like, how did you put on tefillin this morning? We're like, yeah. You're just like, you put on, like, why are you telling me all this stuff? There's so much stuff that you don't do. People just get so much pleasure out of telling people. Don't, I think we talked about this. Still in my mind. It's not right. Um, so anyway, just a rewind. A little bit of a tangent, but something fun to do. Yo, Khani Khain. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? I told you it would be a tangent. All right. Peace.
Well, so let's say watching pornography is a thing that I'm challenged with. So my godly soul and the Torah is telling me not to do that, and then my animal soul, my body wants to. So how do I work with my body? How do I work with my animal soul? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about practical things. What if I don't know, I would stick weed into that same category. Other people might not, but I do. Right? I want to smoke weed. My body wants to smoke weed, but my godly soul is telling me, no. Go learn Torah. So what do? What does that mean to work with my body? As opposed to viewing him as an enemy. Because right now I view him as an enemy. Or he views the Torah as a burden. Doesn't have pleasure in it. So I think working with the body means something like rewarding yourself. Celebrate purity. Or I don't know, like actually celebrate it. Take something that you have control over. I have control. Oh, obviously, you said you do this. Like when you said something about chocolate, I think. About waking up in the morning, then you get yourself a chocolate or coffee, cocoa, or that's what we're talking about. It means to make your body enjoy it.
Yeah. God gave us the Torah and its commandments for the benefit of our bodies and well as our souls. Nevertheless, since the bodies are beasts of burden or donkey naturally seek its own comfort, it is likely to consider the study of God's Torah and the fulfillment of his commandments and a burden. It may rebel positioning itself and as the soul's enemy. Therefore, since for most of us, our body's voice is louder than our soul, we are likely to intentionally view the Torah as an up, up, appreciative burden. So I guess this is saying that that our body and soul are fighting, and I guess the body is a little louder than the soul, and the soul really can't like connect with the body because the body is going like on top, and the soul is trying to climb.
Chom?
What else should I say? Huh. Avi, it's great to hear whatever you have to say. It's always fresh and interesting. Even if I've heard it before, I can always hear it again. What more can be said? Avi, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to make this straight. Anytime someone says they don't have anything to say, they have something to say because you're never not thinking of nothing. They just don't want to share it. So I get it. Show them if you don't trust us. Fine, that's cool. Anyway, but yeah, Rabbi Isaac, no, it's true. I treat myself like a little baby because it works. And sometimes I switch off what the healthy incentive could be. But now it's hot cocoa. Hey, okay, don't judge. Be quiet. Stop. Mute yourself again. But it's okay because it works, and as long as it works, and that's all that counts. You gotta find good incentives, not setbacks, and keep having a mantra of whatever it is. Get it through your head. For sure. You gotta know yourself. That's my takeaway from today's FiveAlive is know yourself and yes yourself. Peace.
Did you realize how Avi just subliminally stuck in having mantras? Have a mantra? Have a mantra? That's what I heard. I heard having mantras. But he like literally stuck it in there like have a mantra, like yeah. Just everybody should have a mantra. Yeah. No problem. Okay. I think that there's also another thing. I think there's a difference between an incentive which is excellent, and I think we are speaking about an incentive as well. But I think that there's another thing which is celebrating. That means you did good, so you should feel good about that. It's not only about the future. It's not only about getting yourself to do it in the future, which is also a thing. But if I accomplish something that I want to do, that is a good thing to do, that is from my neshama, Torah mitzvahs, Torah, whatever it is, I celebrate it. That means make your body feel good about it. So your body will want to do it again. That's working with your body, integrating into your body's life, into the, the megushim stuff, the gashmias, the materialism, and thereby elevating it, by the way. This is really good. This is a really good topic. I like it. And to know myself, I guess I have to find one thing that I need to accomplish, and I'm going to celebrate it. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Tomorrow there'll be another subject, and yeah.
Sheikh now.
Yeah, sure. Go.
Till next
All
time.
right, take care now.